Hi, this is Wei Song Lin. I'm an internist practicing in the state of Washington. I want to share with you why it is so important to vote for President Trump this year. In a previous video, I discussed why I, someone who grew up in China and finished medical school there, would come and love America so much that I become a citizen here. It is the three C's: Constitution, Christianity, and capitalism, which work together to make America great, become the great nation that I and many other immigrants came to love. But all these values are under assault and are at great risk of being destroyed. And with that, will be gone of the greatness of America. How could that happen? Well, as a doctor, I can use our human body as an example. You see, everything good required maintenance to stay that way. Our body is an amazing creation, but we need to pay careful attention to stay healthy, otherwise, we may get sick. We know a lot about virus infection this year, but virus infection doesn't just happen to living organism. It can happen to our other system like cell phones, computers, banking systems. These digital viruses can infect the operating system and cause it to malfunction. A virus of ideology can infect a nation and cause the nation to be sick. Indeed, our nation has been infected with the virus of ideology called leftism. It is not a new virus. It is the same virus of Marxism which has infected Russia, China, Cuba, Venezuela, North Korea, and a number of other nations. And every nation it infected caused nothing but destruction in those countries. The embodiment of this virus in our nation is the progressives who now control the Democratic Party. For the last 30 years, through their positions in the government, in the media, and in the academia, they indoctrinate many young people in schools the ideology of socialism with the lure of free college, and they also entice many in the population with the idea of universal healthcare or even equality of income. They implement laws and policies when they're in power, and to effect government control and handout, to erode and replace the free market economy and move the nation towards socialism. These policies, the welfare state policies, cause more and more people to become dependent on the government, and therefore they will vote the same people into office who gave them the benefit. But in the same time, our nation is losing the lifeblood of people who are willing to work hard and create in order to make a living and improve their own lives. There, these progressives are also against traditional Christian morality because their agenda is to promote sexual revolution and abortion on demand. To do that, they force faith in God out of the public square, and they also persecute Christians who are bold enough to practice their faith openly, like the cake artist in Colorado, the florist in Washington and in Oregon. They remove prayer from the public school and they replace it with explicit sexual and homosexual materials into elementary school in the name of education. Now, I'm not saying that only Democrats were in power for the last 30 years, but even when there were Republicans in offices, when others in academia or in media oppose these socialism takeover, their voices are usually drowned out by the massive noise in the mainstream and social medias, calling them racist, sexist, or any other kind of phobes like xenophobe, throwing out the Constitution protection on freedom of speech. So people could not speak their mind because for fear of these repercussions. This tactic of thought control is exactly like what I experienced in China under the Communist Party rule. And it was working in America as well, as we see that political correctness and cancel culture ran rampant to club everyone into submission. It wasn't until 2016 when enough people woke up and saw the need to fight back. So we, the people, elected Donald Trump as our champion, capable of taking on this massive leftist movement in order to return our nation to the foundation, the three C's: Constitution, Christianity, and capitalism, so America can be made great again. President Trump didn't disappoint. He kept his promises to lower the taxes, reduce government regulations, to allow individuals and businesses to flourish economically. He appointed judges and justices who adhere to Constitution, and he invited God back to the White House. He fought to preserve the freedom of speech as is protected in the Bill of Rights. And these and many other achievements were marvelous achievements, especially considering how short he was in office, and yet with all the obstacles thrown to him by the Democrats, like the Russian hoax investigation, the impeachment, the hostile press that he faced every day. So when they failed to derail him with all these efforts, the Democrats also used the same playbook used by the Communist Party that in every nation that the Communist Party gained power, and that is to stir up class and racial strife and to manipulate naive protesters to riot and create chaos in our cities. You don't have to go far outside of US to see the ravage of this virus. Just look at any of the Democrat-run cities, Chicago, New York, Baltimore, Detroit, and you see what these once beautiful cities have become. They threaten even more violence if the Democrats are not voted into power come November. They're blackmailing America to get their way. Now, as law-abiding citizens, I do not believe we should counter their street violence with our own, but we should defend our rights and the foundation of the greatness of our nation, the three C's, by our vote. Vote for President Trump, who would vigorously defend them. If we give in to the lure of free stuff or give in to the blackmail of violence by the Democrats in this election, our nation will quickly lose the characters which made her a great nation, and will get sicker by the virus of communism and quickly turn into one of those nations like run by dictators like Russia, Cuba, Venezuela, or China. This is not fear-mongering. This is a reality check from someone who's been there. Wake up, America. Vote, and vote for President Trump this November. Thank you for hearing me out.